Today, we're diving into a threat that is a whole different beast than your average spam email. Right in the middle of India's income tax return season, a really sophisticated phishing campaign is hitting taxpayers. And its goal, well, it isn't just to snatch your password, it's to take over your entire computer. So let's break down how this incredibly clever trap works, and more importantly, how you can make sure you don't fall for it.
So let me just ask you, how confident are you, really, that you could spot a fake tax email? Because the people behind this new wave, they are betting they can fool even the most careful and tech-savvy among us. I mean, at first glance, this looks pretty legit, doesn't it? It's got all the right emblems, the formal language, and that sense of urgency, telling you there's a compliance notice you have to deal with right now. But this whole thing is a carefully crafted trap. It's the very first step in a multi-stage attack designed to completely compromise your system.
Okay, so let's start by breaking down the lure itself. How on earth do these emails manage to be so convincing?
Well, it really boils down to a combination of 4 key things. First off, the timing is perfect. They send these out when you're already thinking about taxes, about refunds, about all that stuff. Second, the sender address looks totally harmless, maybe coming from a common domain like Outlook.com, so it doesn't immediately raise suspicion. Third, and this is a big one, they use images that are perfect copies of genuine notices, which builds that visual trust. And finally, they sprinkle in these fabricated but very specific sounding details to make the whole thing feel completely real. What's really fascinating here is that the attack goes way beyond just technical tricks. Fundamentally, it's about getting inside your head. It's about manipulating human psychology.
The technique they're using is a classic. It's called social engineering. And really, it's the art of tricking you into breaking your own security rules. By creating this feeling of urgency and authority, they pressure you into making a mistake. And they have one very specific and very dangerous action they want you to take.
And that brings us to the single most critical and most alarming instruction in their whole plan. They create a problem, that fake compliance notice, and then they offer you a solution that requires you to drop all your defenses. This should set off every alarm bell you have. It's a massive red flag. No legitimate company, no government agency is ever going to ask you to turn off your security software.
So what happens if someone actually falls for it? They click the link, then what? Well, let's follow the digital breadcrumbs and see exactly how this attack unfolds piece by piece. So the first thing you're told to download is a file that's around 150 megabytes. And that should immediately feel weird. A tax form, a simple notice, that's a tiny document, maybe a few kilobytes. So why on earth is this file so massive? That's our very first clue that something much, much bigger is going on here.
And here's the big reveal, the reason for that huge file size. The goalposts have completely moved. See, old school scams, they just wanted your password. This new threat, it wants your entire computer. The file is so big because it's not a document, it's a complex piece of software designed for a complete system takeover.
So, how do they do it? The attack unfolds in 3 very distinct stages. First, that huge 150 megabyte file, the stage 1 installer, gets downloaded. That installer's job is to then deploy a second, smaller installer. And finally, that second installer activates the real payload, the malware that's going to take control of your machine.
Now, the attackers use something called an NSIS installer. And here's the sneaky part. This is actually a legitimate tool. It's used all the time to install normal software on Windows. So by using a real, trusted tool, they can package up their big malicious payload and make it look like just another software installation, helping it sneak right past basic security checks.
To make things even more convincing, the malware is digitally signed. You can think of a digital signature like an official seal of approval, a little stamp that tells your computer, hey, this software is from a trusted developer, it's safe. Of course, attackers steal or misuse these certificates to wrap their malware in a cloak of legitimacy, trying to trick both you and your system.
So, after all these stages, after all these tricks and disguises, what is the final payload? What is this ghost in the machine that they've worked so hard to install on your system?
The end game is something called a remote access Trojan, or a RAT for short. And believe me, this isn't just a virus. It's a tool that gives an attacker complete, persistent, and remote control over your computer. It is literally like handing a total stranger the keys to your house, a live security camera feed, and permission to use anything and everything inside.
So what can this RAT actually do? Well, it installs something called kernel drivers, which lets it dig deep into the very core of your operating system.
making it almost impossible to find. It gives the attacker a remote desktop so they can see your screen and control your mouse and keyboard just like they were sitting in your chair. It has tools to seal your files, delete them, change them. And it communicates back to its master over an encrypted channel, basically a secret hotline for getting new commands and sending out your data.
So the big question is, where did this all come from? Well, according to the analysis of the attack, the evidence points in a very specific direction. The report states, and I'm quoting directly here, the campaign is attributed to China Link's development or packaging, with the installer signed by a Chinese entity and containing a Chinese language application package.
Okay, that is some pretty scary stuff. So, faced with such a sophisticated threat, the most important question is obviously, how do you stay protected? Let's go over the key defensive measures you and your organization can take right now. The defense really starts with you. First, make sure you're using strong email filters that can catch these kinds of malicious messages before you even see them. Second, be super suspicious of any large unexpected downloads. And I really cannot say this enough. Never, ever disable your antivirus software because an email tells you to. For businesses, the advice gets a bit more technical. You should be actively monitoring for any unauthorized software installations and inspecting encrypted network traffic to spot those secret communications we talked about.
And that really brings us to our final thought. This attack uses the lure of a tax notice, but we know the goal is total control of your system. So the real question you have to ask yourself is this: if your tax return is a valuable enough target to justify this level of attack, what other information on your computer is now at risk? What's the real prize they're after?